Okay, so we seem to be all set. Let's go. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to my stream. I'm Pierre, your host. I hope you're all doing well. Well, I was hoping so much to finish this painting for today so that we could start a new painting on Monday, but I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately, but it's no big deal. So let's start off like we always do. Let's go over to the computer and let's check out what we did yesterday, and then we'll tackle our day from there, okay? So yesterday, what did we do? Well, it wasn't very complicated. We basically put the background to our heart in white, so we could, so the colors will be more vivid, more vibrant, and we'll do that today. And then after that, we did a lot of second coats. We put a second coat of red paint on the inside of our leaves. Then we put a second coat of the bright yellow on our nuclear devils. And that is basically what we did all afternoon yesterday. So today, what are we going to do? I'm going to start off, I think, by putting a little bit of shading on this red leaves, and then that will give it time to dry. Then we're going to start off by doing our heart, putting the first coat of colors. It might probably, most probably we'll need 2 coats. That's why we won't be able to finish this painting today. Hopefully we'll get both coats done, because as this first coat will be drying, we will finish off the rest with black paint, right? All the outlines, we'll get that done. And then by the time we finish all that, hopefully the first coat will be dry. We'll be able to put the second coat down. And then on Monday, all we'll have to do is do the outline to our sperms and to the heart. And then this painting will be done. We'll put a black, maybe 1.5 to 2 inch frame all around it in black paint, and put the signature, which is worth a fortune, and that will be that. So let me just get a little bit of the red paint. I'm going to add a little bit of black to it just to give it that little bit of a shading that I'm going to put down on these leaves. So, oops, I don't want to use this red here. This is my main red. I'm going to use the one that we did the leaves with, which is, I have no idea what it's called. It's an odd little red that when you add water to it, it seems to become a little bit purple for some odd reason. Maybe it's aqua red. I've noticed aqua red in the past kind of had that tendency to kind of go towards the magenta and the purple. So, and since I transferred from one jar to this jar, I totally forgot what the name of the painting of the paint was. I transferred a jar like this, which has such a narrow cap that when you get to the bottom of the jar, you can't reach it. So I just cut these open, and then I transferred the paint into this larger, more accessible jar. Well, that was a lot of talking. Let's get to work. I'm not going to need very much. And I guess I can, where am I going to put this? Now let's grab this palette right here. Very good. I can put this away because I won't be needing it. It's just really going to take a few seconds. So it's Friday today, yes. The weekend coming up. I love Fridays. I love my weekends. And then on Mondays, I am so happy to be back in the studio. That's the way it goes, I guess. So we got the red here. I'm just going to put a, oops, there we go. Just a little bit of black paint. Boy, that was hard to open. I'm not surprised when I see all this acrylic caked on. But whatever. Okay, let's not waste any time. I don't see what, we're not really in a rush, but we don't want to waste time anyway. So I'll just put a little bit of black on the side, and we'll blend that in together. I'll just come over to camera number 1 over there, and we can do that. Not going to be very complicated. I am going to want the shading to be kind of discreet as well, even though on the camera, when there's a lot of contrast, it looks great, but in reality, not so much. So I'm going to use this brush. So like I mentioned, I'm just going to come over to camera number 1. There we go. I'm going to move it over here where I have a little jar of water. There we go. So there's the red right here, a little bit of the black right there. So first things first, I'm going to just get the red to be nice and creamy, that it has the texture that will go on the canvas the way I want it to, with a lot of control. It looks like I don't even have enough there, or do I? Well, we'll find out in a few seconds. There we go. And I'm going to just add just a teensy-weensy bit of black, as you can see right there. And you see, as it darkens, it seems to really become purplish for some weird reason. I've never used this paint just for that reason, but I'm starting to like it. I'm sure I can find some sort of use. It's nice to change colors once in a while. I have a tendency to always use my same vivid colors that I'm used to. So there we go. This should do the trick, just a little bit darker. So I'll bring the camera back up. I'll move it to the side so I'm not in front of the lens. And we are going to zoom in. I'll zoom in even more so you can really see what's going on. And I'll tackle those 2 leaves first, and then we'll do the rest. So there we go. I just want to do just a little thing like that. You know, not much. It will get darker as it dries. Just a little swirl like that. Just like that. Really very discreet. But when it's dry, I think it will look very nice. There we go. Very good. I'll move the camera back as I move it over, and we'll do these other leaves. There we go. Tackle those up there first. There we go. Very nice. There we go. Très bien, très bien. Et hop, la dernière, right here. Beautiful. Okay, so I forgot to move the camera, of course. Typical, typical. There we go. So, just move the camera back for a few seconds until we get our paint ready for the heart. So, got that done. So the way I'm going to work on this is always from the upper left-hand corner down to the lower right-hand corner, so I don't put my hand in the paint, which I seem to do anyways, but still, just to reduce that chance. So I'm going to start by doing the the top part of the heart. Then I'm going to do the ring around it, and then I'll do the lower part. Like that, I'm sure I won't screw up. But at least I'll try not to. Let's put it that way. So I'm going to start and get all these paints ready beforehand. So I'm going to start with the orange. Let's get my faithful little knife out here. Oh boy, I could feel a sneeze coming on. It is kind of chilly and damp in the studio here. These are our last few weeks of winter or spring. I can't wait for the weather to change so I can start bitching about the heat. But anyways, so I have the orange here. I might as well right away just work it with some water. I'm not going to do this in front of camera number one. There's no point. I mean, this is not rocket science, not very difficult. Just add water and stir. So I'm going to do that, get the paint to be, again, the right consistency so it just glides on the painting and that I have full control over it. And I could put this on as thick as I want, and it still will need a second coat. I've learned that over the years. So now I just don't worry about it and put one first coat down, and then the second coat will bring everything, hide the paint brush marks, and just make the color as vibrant as possible, which I love. I guess it's because I'm a psychedelic baby, I guess, of the 60s, early 70s. So there's the orange. Mission accomplished. Now I'm going to get that, oops, there we go, get some paint already on my hands. And I'm going to get this nice bright red that I love so much right here. And get that ready as well. I guess I'll just use the cap to the jar of paint to, there we go. To what, I don't know, to avoid using another palette maybe. Okay, so just like before, I'm going to grab this brush, add water to it, stir it up to get it right. Little darling, stir it up. And just work it, squeeze it, push, churn. That looks pretty good. I think I'll just add a little mini drop of water more. And that looks pretty good. Again, this, I could put it on as thick as possible, but it will still need 2 coats, which is kind of a drag because when I put the second coat on the camera, it really doesn't look that great. It looks like I'm not doing anything because you can't really tell, you can't see the brush strokes or any of the details really on that first coat. So anyways, so this is done. Orange is done. Now I need to do my gold for the ring. So where is that gold? Now here's some right here. I have several tubes kicking around. This will do just fine. And I'll put the gold in this green palette like that. It'll be easy to see. I love painting with gold. I just think it's such a awesome color. I love the shine that gold gives when the light strikes it the right way. Should get this hair out of the friggin' way as well. There we go. So, gold. What do I need? Paintbrush. Paintbrush. And I want a soft paintbrush to leave as less streaks as possible. I guess this will do the trick. Very good, very good. The problem is I don't have a jar of water. I'm kind of unorganized. So what I'm going to do is just go bring the camera over here so you can share this with me. And I'm going to go to my back room over here, my little kitchen area, and I'm going to wash my green brush and the water that it was sitting in. It's just going to take a few seconds, and like that I will have some clean water for the gold, and at the same time wash my paintbrush, which I should have done yesterday at the end of the painting session. But anyways, it's just going to take a few seconds. There, I got the clean water already. And now I'm just going to wash the brush using some soap. And I'm going to be rather brutal with this brush because anybody who has done any kind of house painting knows that the paint seems to cake up where the hairs and the handle join. So I like being really brutal with the soap and going in there and making sure all the paint is, I get rid of all the paint. And that's why I have brushes that are like 30 years old, because I do take care of them. Okay, let me get this camera back and ready for our heart of gold. Something like that, I guess. And now I have clean water and I can just get the right consistency now of my gold paint. And then the rest is going to go relatively quickly because there isn't that much of a surface to paint. All right, what is that? About 10 square inches, not even. And even less for the ring. So that is pretty thick, maybe too thick, a little more water. The gold as well will need 2 coats just to get rid of the brush strokes. There we go. We're getting there. I think maybe one big fat drop of water. There we go. Round and round. There we go. This looks pretty good right there, doesn't it? I think so. Okay. So, I am going to leave that brush there. I am going to come back to this brush and go into my orange paint. And we're going to tackle that heart. Okay, very good. So, let me switch cameras then and let's get to work. Wow, there we go. That was quick. And now we'll do the same with the red. Let me just get rid of the excess water on my brush. We don't want it dripping all over the place. There we go. There we go, got the red paint all together. Let's tackle that now. There we go, beautiful. Beautiful. Very good. So, orange, red, and then let's go to the gold. Okay, I'll tackle the upper parts, then do the lower parts afterwards so I don't once again get my hand inside the paint. So let's do that. There's no need for me to be this close to the orange or the green because there will be black outlines, but force of habit, I always do that. I don't know why. So I can see a lot of brush strokes with this gold, unfortunately. It doesn't really matter because it will all disappear with the second coat. Now I know there's a lot of shine from the window, unfortunately. The reflection of the outdoor light. There's nothing I can do about that, I don't think. I'm not going to put curtains. I need light, daylight, so. Again, there's no need for me to hug these other colors so much. Can't seem to help doing that. And then over here, I don't think it looks very good, again, because I'm such a perfectionist, but there's no reason to be since there'll be two coats. There we go. So let me just get this down a little bit down below as well, a little bit here as well. Okay, very good. So that's it for the gold. I guess I made too much, but it doesn't matter. And we are going back to our orange. So let me get rid of the excess. Oops, there we go. The excess water off my brush. Grab my orange here. Jesus, it seems like I'm already out of orange. I'm surprised about that. So let's tackle that. Let's go back to camera number 1. There we go. Very good. And back to camera number 2. And the red paint. Get rid again of the excess water. Definitely do not want any minor catastrophes. Is this the right brush? Yes, it is. Okay, very good. Let me load up the brush. There we go. And back to number 1. Well, let me see if I can't move this camera a little bit differently. That glare bothers me. Let's see if that doesn't work better. Still a little bit of glare, but there's not much I can do. Look, I can see a little bit of the orange that was running there. No big deal. Very good. And let's just get the bottom part right there. What is going on here? There we go. Tu t'en vas?
Ouais.
Et ton sac à dos? Ah, il est dans le dos, d'accord.
Ouais, il est gros, mais derrière moi, il faut tout petit.
Tu vas où? Tu rentres chez toi?
Ouais, j'ai un client.
Ah, t'as un client là?
Ouais, à 17h, en temps d'entrer chez moi, prendre une douche, me changer, voir ce que j'ai fait à la précédente séance.
Prendre des préservatifs, tous les trucs comme ça, non? Ah merde, attends, on est à l'antenne là.
Il est homosexuel.
Dis pas son nom. Ah, bah alors pas de préservatif, c'est ça?
Non, mais non. Faut quand même un petit peu de liberté dans l'action.
Bon, écoute, t'es en train de choquer mes zéro clients là.
Bon, travaille bien.
Ben merci, ouais.
Pas trop vite, hein. Prends ton temps.
Ouais.
Ça fait beaucoup en ce moment, je sais pas où tu vas les stocker, mais. Ouais.
C'est clair, mais je les brûle, je repeins de l'autre côté, je les recycle.
Ça va commencer à te faire douce après.
Ouais, tu m'étonnes.
Punaise. Tu vas pouvoir faire tous les murs.
Ben, j'y pense souvent, mais
ouais,
bon.
Ouais. Ce serait de Pigeonnier.
Non, exactement. Ouais, voilà. Donc, c'est pour ça que je le fais pas. Faut pas exagérer. Faut pas exagérer non plus, quoi. Ciao, à bientôt. Bye. So, we got that done as well. And let's switch over to our sperms. We're going to do that next. For that, I'm going to use my golden yellow, which I love so much. It's such a beautiful yellow. And not to sound very repetitious, but we're going to have to put 2 coats of this as well. So I might as well get that done right now. What am I looking for? My little knife here. There we go. There we go. Get the old rag out. When all this is done, I'll send it to my friend David Gerstadt in the States, and he'll make some dolls with it. Makes these awesome dolls out of his paint rags. Really, I love them. They are so awesome. But anyways, so instead of throwing my rags away, I'm just saving them. I'm going to make a big box full of rags, full of paint, and then I'm going to ship them off to the States. And, salut, ça va?
Yeah, very well, thanks. From England.
Okay. Then I'm going to ship them off to the States, and then he can make more of his little rag dolls. So, here we go, working on the yellow, making that nice and thick, though doesn't need to be. What I really wanted to do is just be the right consistency. I mean, those are the three things that you actually need to have a good day painting. You need your paint to be the right consistency, you need to have the right paintbrush, and you need to be comfortable in the right position while you're painting. Especially if you have a lot of details and it's going to take you several hours. Obviously nothing on this painting except maybe these electromagnetic rings that are very discreet. Those took a while, but this painting, I actually painted it as though I was making one of my street posters that I've made for many years. That was kind of my thing on this painting here. So, paintbrush, paint is ready. I guess all I need maybe now is just to bring over my chair. I'll bring this camera back down as well. We can go to these guys right here. I'll move the camera just a little bit over, so I'm sure that I'm not in front of the lens, which I hate doing. And then I'll bring my chair over right here. And then let's tackle these guys. Oh, I see I have dropped a little bit of red paint right there. Fortunately, it didn't dry. So with a little bit of saliva, shit, I don't even see where it is, where it was. Okay, so that was easy. Okay, so let's get back to our little sperms here. And again, I don't really need to hug the green edge because all this will be outlined again in black, but yet for some stupid reason I keep doing that. There we go. Let's get the tail done. There we go. These sperms will have some shading on them as well, which will definitely make them look a lot nicer. And I'm going to just switch over to camera number 1 now for this third and final sperm. And this is for the editing of my little recaps, my little movies. Because I also have to think about the editing of the movies as well, besides the streaming and the painting. And let's get the little tip there, down there. Again, no need for me to be too difficult since there'll be 2 coats and the shading and the outline, whatever. So there we go. Got that done. Okay, so let's come back to here. Let's get the chair out of the way. And let's bring this camera back here. And where are we now? Okay, I guess we are going to outline our leaves. So let me get all this out of the way. Let me get my black paint over here again. Let's get the paint ready. And the paintbrush. I might have to wash again my paintbrushes because these seem to be the ones I will be using, but whatever. We'll do that in a few seconds. I am going to have quite a bit of black to do, so I'm going to get the paint all ready for that now. And the excess I can just put back in the jar. Oof. So let me just do this here again. Wipe off my knife. And then, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go back to my kitchen. Ah, merde. God, got paint all over again. go over to my little kitchen sink here and wash my brushes, get some fresh water. There, that seems to do the trick, right? Okay, so again, I will bring this camera over here. I hate turning my back on you, but I have no choice. And I'm going to go back in the back room. What was this? This was for my gold. Okay, I'll take that as well. Take this as well. Oops, there we go. Let me just switch cameras. There we go. Got more paint on my hands. There we go. There we go. Let me grab my brushes, get the soap out. This will just take a few seconds. And as I've often mentioned, this whole stream is about sharing what goes on, the realities of what goes on in the studio. The good and the bad. So, got those two guys cleaned off. On these little brushes, it's cool because I can wash all three of these brushes together. It's pretty awesome. And time saving, there we go. Not very complicated. Let's get some nice fresh water. Okay, very good. Got that done. Now, let's see, what brush am I going to use to do my outlines here? I think maybe this guy right here. Hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, we'll just switch brushes. And just like before, I am going to grab a bunch of water here and mix it with my black. And you know what? I'm going to do it with a larger brush first so it goes a little quicker. There we go. I mean, it is Friday, right? We don't want to stay here all weekend. So let me just work this black paint, which is kind of thick. I'm getting to the bottom of my jar, so. And I'm going to get all this fuzz out of the way as well. There we go. There we go, a little bit of water. Let's keep churning this so it's almost like ink. But of course I want to keep its opacity to the max because there's no way in the world I am going to put 2 coats of this. And it looks like as it's getting more and more the texture that I want, that I'm not going to have enough paint here. So, I am going to make right away more paint. Sorry about that, but there's no way around it. So let's get back there. Might as well make a lot, and then I can always put it back in the jar if I have too much. There we go. There's one thing I don't do is waste my paints. Can't afford it. Okay, there we go. Clean knife. There we go. And just like before, we're going to work all this paint as to get like an ink-like texture to it. And then all I'm going to have to worry about is being in a comfortable position, which shouldn't be very difficult since I have a chair right here. The main thing is getting the right paintbrush. That's what I have to do. So, got all this done. Gonna keep churning and turning. It's getting there, it's getting there. And I know, like, not that I want to make a big deal out of it, but getting the right paintbrush really means everything at this stage, because either the outlines are too thin and it looks shitty, or they're too thick and it looks shitty. So you kind of have to find that right brush. So this looks cool, except it still looks pretty perfect texture, but a little too thick. And I want this paint to just kind of flow on the canvas. Everything has to be in movement, you know? That's what it's all about, man. Meditation, movement. Everything has to disappear. Okay, so I am tempted to go with this. I will know exactly in a few seconds if it works out or not. So, do I have the right brush? Where am I here on my computer? I see that I forgot to switch cameras all this time, and I apologize for that. So, I should make a habit of looking more, see what camera is on. But it's true, I'm thinking of several things at the same time, so it's really not all that obvious all the time. So I'll move this camera to the side as we tackle our leaves like we did earlier for the shading. And just like earlier, I'm going to start in the upper left, work my way down as not to get my hands in the paint. So, and to do this, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play some music of my friends. Like that, I don't have to talk. I can stay concentrated and just think of the movement of my hands. And so we have, on the guitar, my friend Jacek. We have Diego on the violin. And then we have Lucien on the drums. So let's just listen to them as I outline these leaves. Okay. The paint is of the right consistency and I have the right paint brush. So ah merde. Okay, so we got these leaves done. Did have to add a little bit of water to my paint because it was either thickening up or it was too thick to start off with. So just going to dilute it with a little bit of water so it flows easier on the canvas. There we go. There we go, very good. So I'm just going to stop the music for a few seconds here as I step back and take a look at what's going on so far. Okay, very good. Now I guess I'm going to tackle this lower left-hand devil here. So I might as well move the camera and get that ready right away. And for that, I am going to need a different paintbrush for sure. Something where I have a little more control over it. And which brush am I going to use? I have several choices, of course, but it's vital that I pick the right one. Oh, okay. So this is the brush that kind of my go-to brush that I've been using for years and years. And I think I'm going to just put him to soak for a few seconds as I look over here at some thinner brushes. Maybe this brush as well. I might have to ping pong back and forth between these two brushes. We'll see. We'll see as we go. Okay, I'll just put that right there. Get my go-to brush and work the black paint a little bit with it so it soaks up all the black. How is this going to work? Well, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Keep our fingers crossed. So where am I at here? Okay. So I'm always nervous when I do these things, even though I must have done like 5,000 of these devils. But still, every one I do, I tackle with always a little nervous. Want to make sure I get it right. Okay, so let's go for it. I'm going to put back the music on and we'll switch over to camera number 1 as well. There we go. Okay. Very good. Okay. Devil number 1. good. There we go. Devil number 2. So by checking this up close, okay, I'm going to just come back here for a few seconds, stop the music also. Looking at this, what we've done so far, the sperms are dry enough that I can put a second coat. The red looks like it will not need a second coat because it's still not dry, it's really thick. But the orange is dry enough, we can put a second coat of that. And the gold, well, maybe I'll put a second coat of gold later on when I'm just about to leave the studio. Like that Monday, all we'll have to do is the outline of these guys. Oh, I could do this right now, couldn't I? And then the border around there. But then again, Monday, what am I going to do? Come in and do a stream for 5 minutes? So maybe I'll do, finish the whole thing off, do my signature on Monday. It seems like a smarter move to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put that second coat of orange on the heart and the yellow on the sperms. So I'm going to start off with the sperms since I have the yellow right here. I don't want it to dry off too much. I guess the brushes I used earlier and washed, I can use right now. So let me just grab my little chair back here, come back here. Let me get my brush and the paint all ready. I guess I can bring this camera over as well. Zoom in on these babies right now. And while I do that, I guess I'll just put the music back on. Why not, okay? There we go. Very good. The gold is just about dry, but what the hell. Let me just put the orange down first. Okay, let me move this back up here. I still have that glare from the window on the red paint. Maybe there it will be better. Okay. I'm going to go for the gold right now. There's just one or two spots that it's not quite dry, but I don't think it's going to hurt us at all. So just going to clean off this brush and then let's... There we go, very nice. Really, the second coat of gold really makes all the difference, really. It is important.
funny.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to stop the music again. And it's true that I could probably press on and do this outer ring, do my little border in black, put down my signature. But then Monday when I come in to do the outline to these to the centerpiece, after 15 minutes I'll have nothing to do all day. So I might as well save the outside ring, the outside thing, which will take like 10 minutes anyways, and say that for Monday, and then like that I can finish this painting once and for all on Monday, ship it out on Tuesday, and Tuesday we can start a new canvas. So I think I'm going to do that. So therefore that concludes today's stream. It would have been so nice to end this on a Friday and start Monday with a fresh, brand new canvas and painting, but that's the way it goes. So anyways. That is the conclusion of today's stream. I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I hope as well you have an awesome, great weekend. I know that I will. A lot of soccer games going on this weekend, so that's going to be pretty cool. My son and I were looking forward to that. And hopefully you will join me on Monday morning for finishing this painting. And like usual, I'm going to leave you with my schedule and by saying, ciao mes amis.